Hello Zwifters, my name's Synth and welcome to this tutorial around about how to import and organise your own custom workouts or indeed your training plans into Zwifts. So they'll look a little something like this. When you go into your custom workouts, you've got a main heading, a main folder at the top here, and then when you click into that, you've got each of your subfolders, and then with each of those subfolders, you've then got your workouts themselves, all nice and neat, all organised, and obviously all you can see all the detail on the right hand side here. So we'll show you how to kind of get to this state throughout this video. There's kind of three things that you need. The first is you need to be doing this on a PC or a laptop. It doesn't matter if it's Windows based, or in my case I'm using an iMac or a MacBook you could be using. It doesn't matter, it's exactly the same process. You don't need to be doing it on the device that you're using it on. So for example, I use my iPad to Zwift. What happens is whatever device you do this on, it will auto sync to all your other devices, Apple TV, your Android tablet or your Android phone. It doesn't matter. The great beauty of this is that you're using the power of the PC or the laptop to organise, to get the folders set up, which is the reason for kind of doing this on those devices rather than doing them direct on something like an iPad or Apple TV or an Android phone, but it's a little bit fiddly and you typically need to download different software. So do it on a PC or a laptop is the first thing. The second thing is you need to install Zwift on that PC or laptop, whatever you're using, so you need to have Zwift installed there. And then the third thing is obviously you need the workouts themselves. Now you can get the workouts through any sort of means. Typically speaking, if you're doing this, it's probably because you have found them on Facebook or some kind of Discord server. You may be chatting to somebody in a club. You're looking for something that's a little bit personal, a little bit tailored. You've started something on Wahoo System or Trainer Road or Trainer Day, which is what I've gone on to here, and it's quite personal to you. And instead of using that platform to run the actual workout itself, or to upload it onto your Garmin or your Wahoo Bolt or something like this and then have that connected to the trainer, you want to do it through Zwift. So you're getting the benefit of what Zwift brings, which is of course all the social aspects. You get the ride-ons, you get the motivation from that. You're starting to work towards maybe getting your Tron and things like this, so it feels as though you're killing two birds with one stone. Whatever the rationale, there's lots of benefits of taking those custom workouts that you're creating yourself or that your coach is giving you, whatever you're getting them from, and then bringing them into Zwift directly. I'm going to show you an example here where I'm just using a free account on Trainer Day. We'll go to workouts and plans, and within here, because it's just a free account, we're going to get a list of all the community workouts that are available. So we'll just go into this first one here, which is the VO2 Max. Now I can download this file here, and if you have the option to download, you'll get a number of different file formats which you can download them in. You always want to download it in the ZWO, the Zwift workout file format. That is the only format which will work on Zwift. None of the other file formats, you can use exactly the same methods I'm about to, but when you import them into the folders, they will not work. It's only ZWO that works there. So you'd always pick that if you've got the option, which is great. You can kind of skip forward a little bit in this tutorial if that's the case. Otherwise, I'm going to show you if you don't have that file format, you can click on that. You can see here I've got that .erg down in the left hand corner. I'm just going to pinch this up a little bit and we'll minimize Zwift in the background so I can just get this onto the desktop here. Not double click, I want to click and drag. Now that I've got that there, I'll show you if you've got a different file format. I would just go into What's on Zwift, which is a good website to do this. Go into converters, and then we can convert that file into the ZWO if you haven't got it. You can upload multiple on here, which is the benefit as well, particularly if you've got a training plan. You want to come on to convert workout files between formats, so click on that link there. And then within here, you then want to choose the file. We've obviously got this one here, which is an ERG. You can choose it by clicking in there and browsing on wherever you've saved it, whether it's in your downloads file or on your desktop. I'm just going to click and drag, which does the same thing. You can see that's got it listed there. And then we want to convert it into that ZWO file format. Then we click convert, and underneath, you can see that's very quickly converted. Now you can have as many different files up here as you want. It does take a little while if you've got a few of them, but typically no more than a few seconds to a few minutes. Then you want to download that ZWO file, so we'll click that. For me on the iMac, it downloads in the bottom left. If you're on Windows or the Windows platform, it'll typically download in the top right, so just watch out for that. I click and drag that again just onto the desktop, so it's a little bit easier to see there. So I'll just delete this first one. We can get rid of that, so we don't need that. We'll get rid of this as well. So we've got a workout file there. We're just going to keep this on the desktop. You might have a folder where you've got all these in here, and now it's time to, how do you actually get it within Zwift itself, so it starts looking a little bit like this. So what you want to do is you want to go into, on your iMac, into your Finder. If it's a Windows based device, you want to go into your File Explorer, exactly the same thing. Click into there, and you want to go to Documents. Within Documents, you want to double click on Zwift. And within Zwift, you want to go to Workouts. Then Workouts, you click on your Zwift ID. Be careful, there might be more than one in here, so make sure you go into your own one. And then within that, this is the folder that all the magic's going to happen. If you've not created a workout before, so if you've never created a new workout within Zwift, or you've never kind of imported anything, this folder will be completely empty. All you will have in here is this workouts file. Don't touch it, just leave it where it is. Don't move it, don't delete it, don't do anything to it. This is how Zwift syncs the data between this folder and all your different devices. So just leave that as is. As you can see here, I've got that kinetic workouts folder here already in here, and simply the way that you do this is you're just creating a new folder as you would on a normal PC. I'm just going to put this as synth, for example, and then you're starting to drop in, you're building up your folders. You can have folders and subfolders, and then you're dropping the ZWO files into here. Now, when the workout sync is quite important. The workouts will only sync when you log in. So a brand new session, you open up Zwift and you go in, that will auto sync your workouts, so that the workouts, anything that you do within this folder, will now change and show up in here. Or alternatively, when you create a new workout. Now let me show you that in practice. So for example, we've got this new folder, I've just created it here. You can see that hasn't updated. There's nothing updated on Zwift. If I now go in and I click and drag that ZWO file in here, we can now just put it into that synth folder. So it's definitely in there. And I go back to Zwift. Let me just kind of toggle this a little bit. You can see that there's nothing in there. Now the way to auto sync that, to make it show up, is a little cheat here. Instead of you coming out of this and then going in on your iPad or your other device, or indeed kind of back into here, logging out and coming back, a little cheat sheet just to make sure it's worked. You can create a workout. You can click and drag, for example, something across. We'll just keep it saved as new workout. We'll hit save. That automatically comes up. It's not within the folders, it's within its own, just the custom workout folder here. Now if I go back to the Finder, what you'll see is it's automatically created here. So that's the linkage between what you're doing within Zwift and this folder here. That's that new one here. But you can see that the synth one has not loaded up here, still not within that. So what you need to do, now that you've created a workout, is you want to come back. We'll go back to the main screen on Zwift. We'll scroll down to the routes. You just want to start a route. Notice here that I'm not paired up to anything. You don't need to be paired up to anything. So we'll just come back. Come back to the routes, and we're just going to pick top one here, Volcano Circuit, and start the ride. Now we've loaded up there, we'll go to menu and we'll go to workouts, and what you'll see immediately is we now have that synth folder in here, that VO2 max, which looks quite painful as it is. 4 minutes of 370 watts, goodness gracious. So what that's done is, because we created a new workout, Zwift recognised that when we started the session. Basically the logic is that it's suggesting that, probably common sense, that he's created a workout, he probably wants to do that when he goes into Zwift. So it auto syncs that folder, whatever this is in this folder, onto Zwift now that we're in here. Now I'll delete this, and I can delete that workout in there, and that will delete it straight away from this folder. So again, you see that synergy between the two here. So that's kind of important, just to kind of recognise that. Now if I come back, and let's just end the ride, and I'll delete that. One of the pitfalls, or the main pitfall that people run across, is either A, they've downloaded a file and it's in the wrong format, it's not in the ZWO format, or the other one, which is very, very common, is they've not you've got this .zwo file extension on the end. That's missing. So let me just delete that. It's exactly the same file, but it's missing the ZWO at the end of it. Now let me go in here. It will still be here because it hasn't synced. So what I'll need to do is create a new workout. Again, I'm just going to click and drag something across. Let's hit save. We've got a new workout there. It'll still be here because we haven't forced it to sync yet. So I'm going to come back. We're going to go back to the roots. Let's head into, again, Volcano Circuit here. We'll start the ride. And then we'll go back into the workouts folder and let's see what's happened. So menu, workouts, and now you see it's gone. Now all we have is the kinetic one and this new workout, whereas within the Finder, we've obviously got this one here, and it's because this hasn't got the .zwo file extension on there. It is in the right format, but it doesn't have the extension on the end, and therefore Zwift doesn't recognize it, and it also doesn't import in the actual folder itself. So that's probably one of the main pitfalls when you're watching out for this. You may have done all the other steps right, but it hasn't got that .zwo on the end, so just watch out for that. After that, you can just now download as many workouts as you want, get them into the right extension. You can set this up as however you wish. You just kind of right click, new folder. You could do week 1, for example. You can have this then put into synth as a folder. I might move this across into there, so we've now got a subfolder of week 1. We've got our VO2 max in there. Let's just rename this so that we've got the .zwo file extension on the end. Now that we've done that, we'll come out back into here. We'll just delete this one. We'll come back out and let's auto sync it to make sure that it's all working properly. So we'll end the ride, delete, go into the workouts. We'll see that we've then got the week 1, which is auto synced there, and I think that's because I was deleting it as it was coming out. Sometimes that might not sync up just as the way that's done there. Normally you'd have to create another workout for it to sync up, but anyway, that's it all kind of there. And obviously you can just start to organise that however you wish in terms of the folder structure you want. So hopefully that was helpful, folks. That's how to import your own custom workouts or your training plans into Zwift, how to get them looking nice and neat and organised, and how that can auto sync now across all your different devices. It doesn't matter what device you now use to access Zwift. As long as you come out of this, you end this session, the next time you log in on whatever device it is you use, it will automatically show up within your custom workouts however you've now set it up on that device. Hopefully you find that helpful. If you have, leave it a little thumbs up, and if you've got any questions, leave them in the comments below, or any suggestions on other tutorials you want, that'd be fab. Have a great day all. Cheers.